you choose to live married or you choose to live divorced? Now, you might think that how does that even work? I mean, we're married. Of course, we're bonded together in the same home. However, when you let difficulties in your communication go, it's really like you're just living divorced. So you can choose to communicate. That's what marriage really would be, a combining, a merging into one person. But if I'm not communicating with him, then we're just two separate people. We're roommates. We're not choosing to live as one anymore. So communication might be one of the most difficult things you deal with, especially if you start getting into some real issues. For example, finances. It's sometimes hard. He wants to do this versus what I want to do this, and I see a need here. This last Tuesday, a lady came into the school program I run, and she goes, "I'm sorry, I'm not ready for this stuff. I didn't help my kids with anything." I was up all night with a Christian lady, and they got in a fight about finances, and he walked out. He's done. He's done with the marriage over whether she bought a $200 printer or not. So if you're letting things like finances get in, it needs to be discussed way ahead of time. Things about intimacy. You know, as you get older, there's going to be issues with intimacy at some point. And you're going to say, you know, things aren't working, or this is not right, or this doesn't feel good, or this is something that's painful, or whatnot, or things aren't working right the way you want it to. You have to communicate. And believe me, there's nothing more humbling, more vulnerable, more painful than discussing sexual issues in your marriage. One of the things that literally sort of broke down the barriers, I was pregnant with our second child. I think it was our second one, maybe our first. And now this is never, I said we're taking the gloves off today, all right? He had to give me an enema while I was pregnant, all right? Can I tell you the moment I'm sitting here, I know, and she's like, oh, she feels my pain, all right? And I'm sitting here going, this is what the doctor prescribed.
First year.
I'm having severe issues. My body's not working. I'm no longer walking. I had to quit my job. We had to move to another state. We moved from South Carolina to here. And the biggest problem on my mind is there is no way on this earth I am letting my brand new husband give me an enema. That is just not done. The doctor can do it, a nurse can do it, but that's it. And he looks at me and goes, honey, he goes, this is what has to happen. This is what they told us to do. And I'm going, and I'm literally now in tears. Now, yes, I have been in pain for hours. I've had pain medication. I've had Zofran, so that's to keep me from vomiting. All these things, but the biggest thing on my mind is I can't believe that I'm letting you see me this vulnerable. That's just not done until we're like 70, okay? And here we're in our early 20s, not even late 20s, early. And I'm just absolutely in tears at the thought of being this vulnerable with another human being.
First year marriage,
I believe so. All right, so anytime we start having real issues communicating, I think about that enema. Because I think at that point, anything is able to get over that, right? If you've already dealt with that one, that's easy. But you have to choose to communicate. You have to choose to communicate when it's hard or when it's vulnerable.
It's kind of combined together, so sometimes it's hard to divide them into different topics. So this one happens to be part of how men and women are different in the way we see things, and it affects how we communicate. So Sky and I, I think it's pretty good. How common do you think this is? Do people have this? Use this
Well, I know that my parents have that constantly, and I know that we have it. So
one of our illustrations on how people, men and women, are different is boxes.
Apparently Norm has it too.
No. So guys I have a box for everything, and it's a different box. I have a box for playing on the computer. I have a box for work. I have a box for my work relationship with my wife. I have a box for communicating. So I don't understand how, if I say something, flippant in the morning, or if I'm distracted with work, how can that affect our relationship later? It doesn't make any sense to me. They were different boxes.
We're all one box. I've noticed, and maybe some of the women in this room are very different, possibly, but most women that I have met are a single box. So he asks me, honey, what's
there's always exceptions, right? But
now, dinner is in a separate box. Now, I don't know about you all, but dinner is the thing that is the most difficult discussion in our house on a regular basis, right? Finances, we're really good with. That one we don't argue about. But what's for dinner always seems to make it to the top of the list, all right? So yesterday I did about 18 hours of homework, 8:30 in the morning to midnight. So is that, no, that's not, 16 hours, okay? 16 hours of homework, I'm working on this. Last night I'm typing, working away, I have all these papers to turn in. And he looks at me, he goes, honey, what's for dinner? And I look at him and go, are you serious? the children, we have to feed us, this is the next thing. And I looked at him and I'm going, you know, I just don't understand why you don't have more compassion when it comes to what I'm having to get done. You encourage me to go to school, but now you're telling me you really aren't encouraging me at all. In fact, I'm supposed to do this as well. When you see that I'm in the middle of 4 papers to write today, and he's looking at me and backing up, and he goes,
what does that have to do with anything?
And so, now I'm sitting here, now I'm came and focused on the computer, and he's going, but I just asked what's for dinner. And I said, yes, but you're asking for dinner when I had already told you a little while ago, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm going to try to make everything in by 11:59, which is the deadline. And so I said, I already told you this is what's going to have to happen. You're going to have to deal with something. He goes, yeah, but I didn't know if you had a plan for dinner. I mean, because I couldn't even clear out your plan, but do you have a plan for dinner? And I'm over here. You have not only dealt with dinner, okay, but now it's, are you even supporting me in my going to school, which you told me you wanted to do, but now you've changed your mind because all of a sudden your need for getting dinner done is different than the need that you said about needing my master's degree.
I just want a sandwich.
Which you could fix yourself.
But what if you made the sandwich and there's already another plan?
I know, right?
What's the problem? You made a sandwich and there's another sandwich in there already.
I just don't get it. Like, to be fair, I made dinner and it was okay.
And it was amazing. It was
Right.
wonderful. It was the most
But-
unusual dinner I think I've ever had in my life. I've never had grilled chicken, cut up, and baked beans before, but it was really good.
That's what we had, okay?
It was really good.
And you're still alive.
And I will tell you this.
Somehow that works.
When I leave it to him, this is really important, ladies. This is really important. If I'm saying, honey, it's your turn. Whatever it is going to happen, I need you to deal with it. If it's your turn, whatever he comes up with, babe, that was great. Okay? Do not criticize if it was his turn and he did it. Did he get fed? Did the kids get fed? I got fed.
Nobody's sick and throwing up.
Nobody's
All right,
sick
we're
and
good.
vomiting. At this point, babe, you did a great job. And I looked at him and I'm going,
Never
I've
mind,
never
it never-
seen this combination before,
Yeah.
but man, it tastes awesome.
Not if he decides to cook eggs with mint.
That's when you
It
just
wasn't
work.
Wait. But he cooked.
But no, that's when you go, honey,
She wanted eggs.
I love you. It's time to order pizza, and it's okay anyway. No, but that's a great learning experience in how to overcome and say, you know what, that's not what's important, and go, okay, we got pizza, and you tried. Go ahead. But, you know, so communicating, guys, at least for me, everything's a separate issue. My wife doesn't function like that. So it takes a deliberate act. If she gets hurt or, you know, something bothering her, I have to look back and say, what was it? Because it may not be obvious to me. Or we may have to start communicating to figure it out. And I have to listen. And listening is the really key, important part about communicating.
Now, since everything is jumbled together in my box, sometimes I have to lay out why I'm still upset. Because he goes, but we dealt with this. I said, yes, but the box is messed up. The box is really evident if women go out, if you guys are, double dating, or if you go out after church. We tend to go out, shopping is one, but we tend to go out to church, after church, to do lunch with my parents. And we might have some other couples go along with us. And it's really interesting because Lance gets lost pretty fast, especially if women talking, and everything connects because it's all in the same box. This is connected to here, and they can jump conversations. And Lance goes, what box are you in now? And we tried to literally see it was here, and then this is all connected. And he goes, it's taking him a minute to switch boxes. So sometimes I
Go
have
from
to.
talking about rice to wedding dresses to, lunch tomorrow to plans for next week to, wait, how was this connected? I don't know.
So sometimes you have to lay out why we might be upset or where our train of thought is going so that they can understand this is why this is connected. It usually helps with hurt feelings because usually this may have hurt my feeling, but I'm not upset about this so much. This is a little thing, but it's part of this bigger box that has been building, and that's not what we've dealt with.
And that classic, but if he loves me, he'll know, is a lie.
Yes, it is.
So, help your spouse, husband, or wife out and explain why, what the issue was. And if it's hard, because for me, like sometimes we'll be talking and I'll say, okay, I'm not good at this communicating. I need a minute to explain because I struggle with how to communicate. And it took a while for us to actually communicate what the issue was. And then I wasn't trying to be hurtful, I just didn't know what the words were. But it took a while for us to learn that, I need to go, honey, I need to explain it to you. Can you just listen for a minute? And that's her cue to go, okay, I just need to give him time and take for a grain of salt what he's saying until he gets it all the way out.
This is where grace comes in. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
If things are difficult at home, you can disengage and engage here. And so I just want to affirm
Yeah, no.
that might be hard to deal with women, but it's probably also an asset in certain ways in life. And
I would
so,
absolutely
right?
agree.
I mean, yeah.
And it's part of, and that's true of personality types, it's true of the box theory. Men and women are different, but it's not a bad thing, right?
Yeah, well, it just,
We're just different, right?
God designed that though. I mean, think
Yeah.
about it. He has difficulties at work and something's going on at work.
Yep.
He can leave that there in that box and he comes home to me and it's totally different. That's a work box. And so when he comes home, now if it's a really bad day, some of the boxes might bleed over a bit and like get some of the frustration out.
Sure.
But all of a sudden he's pretty easy to switch boxes.
yeah.
And now time with wife and kids is a totally different box.
Yeah, I just appreciate some of the boxiness because every once in a while, if we're on the wrong page in the morning, I'll be like, if we don't resolve this, I can't homeschool today.
And if you want to be,
But so I think to myself, if we were boxier, it might be effective with the kids.
and to be brutally honest, I appreciate the opposite, that she is one box.
Yeah.
Because sometimes at work, one of the hardest things for me can be the emotional side of it. Dealing with how do I work with these people when I don't necessarily like them.
Yeah, sure.
Or, this stuff is stuff that everything's this political, backbiting, blah, 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 business stuff. I'm not good at that. I don't like it. But I can open up with her and reveal that weakness and share with her, and she can give me insights that I wouldn't have because it's a different box.
So God made us with different boxes, so it's learning how to get through them, how to use
Reconcile.
them.
Yeah.
Cardboard.
How to use them to its best effectiveness.
But it's become a code word for us when we're not necessarily on the same page in communicating.
Yeah.
I'll be like, you haven't switched box. Okay, how many of you have tried to talk to the back of your husband's head while he's on the computer? Okay. There is something I have said. I'll be talking to Lance, and he is engrossed. Now, granted, I'm at fault in a way. I bought him his extra monitor, so he has a computer with 2 monitors and his work laptop. So he has a 3-station gig running up in front of his spot. And if he is engrossed, right, he's doing this, and I'll be talking, and he's grunting as usual, and back at me about something, and this means that like I got part of my brain, and I'm like, I hate talking. He's got this tiny little, but I hate talking to your bald spot. And all of a sudden he goes, what's? This is just a tiny one, but I hate talking to your bald spot. I want you to turn around and look at me. So, gentlemen, there is a time that means get off of the computer. With my dad also was one, but my dad was in there studying for about 12 hours every day. He wasn't at the fire station, studying his Bible on the computer. He'd have this Bible open, this biblical atlas, this biblical exegesis thing, and he'd be typing on the computer, one of his many books that he has now published. And I'd be like trying to get his attention, and I'm like, Dad, and he'd be like, still going. He goes, just go ahead and tell me what it is. And so we developed this thing when I was growing up. Here, right here. And all of a sudden I'd do this to Dad. I said, come here, Dad. And I'd look like this, and he'd look at me, and he goes, oh, it was his clue. Get off the computer. Right? You can come back to a computer. There's a save button. I love video games that have a pause button. Those
She
ones.
needed me to change boxes.
But I need to get him off of that so the computer can be one. For me, put down the phone. All right? There are times when I have to turn it off, put it down, put it away. It's not necessary. So we're going to pick this up a little bit next week as we talk about more communication barriers.